Welcome everybody to the inaugural episode of Fullback Fridays, your weekly dose of fullback content here on the MillerFootball channel. This week we're going to be taking a look at a tandem of fullbacks down in New Orleans, Louisiana, taking a look at Adam Prentice and Taysom Hill, who has added a new feather to his cap, a new position to his arsenal, playing a little bit of fullback for the Saints so far. Obviously, everyone's been hyping up the Saints offense, and rightfully so, but two guys that are getting overlooked are Prentice and Hill. Maybe Prentice a little more than Hill, but Hill's contributions as a fullback are definitely getting overlooked. But I'm very excited to get into this. This is a series that I have been planning all summer. The point of this series is just to dedicate every Friday to a fullback-centric upload here on this channel, just to make sure that you get your weekly dose of fullback content. I'm a man of the people. I'm doing this for you. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into Taysom Hill and Adam Prentice's film against the Dallas Cowboys and Carolina Panthers. All right, this is a fun one to start out with here. We've got a little 20 personnel with Shaheed and Adam Prentice as our two backs. Taysom Hill lined up at quarterback. Right away, we're going to bring Prentice in motion. Hill's going to drop back, sell the pass, and we've got a quarterback run with Adam Prentice as the lead blocker. Prentice is the man who makes this play happen. If it's not for Prentice, this play is dead on arrival because Derrick Brown reads this perfectly. Derrick Brown, being the best player on the Panthers, one of the best run defenders in the league, recognizes that this is a run. His eyes are in the backfield watching Taysom Hill about to take off. He has no interest in this lineman. He's doing a great job of keeping his eyes in the backfield, playing with his head up. And because of that, what is happening is, if you've heard me use the term stack and shed on this channel before, he is currently stacking, which is getting himself in position, good hand placement on the lineman. What he's going to do here is he stacks, which is holding his ground against the run, and then when the ball carrier comes his way, he sheds, he tosses the lineman to the side, wraps up, and makes the play. That's what he's trying to do. Adam Prentice here, his job is to make sure that once Derrick Brown sheds, he's immediately getting blocked again. He's making contact with someone that does not have the football. So Prentice gets out in front, gets low, he's shorter than Derrick Brown, and he has the ability to break his feet down and get low. You see Brown's almost standing up right here. Prentice has like the bent hips. He gets low, gets his hands up, ends up getting his hands into the chest of Derrick Brown. You can see right here. And Brown is helpless, can't do anything. Hill runs right on by, picks up some nice yards. The ball comes out at the end of the play here. Quick rewind. I don't know if his knee was down. I'm not going to do a whole play-by-play here. I don't think it was ruled a fumble on the field. But either way, Prentice, good heads-up play, getting on top of the ball just in case they were to call it a fumble. Derrick Brown, great hustle from him, just to throw that out there. He's hurt for a while, so I want to give him his flowers because I love Derrick Brown. But great play there by Prentice. He makes this play happen. If Prentice is unable to pick up this block, if he's unable to take what is being passed off to him by Ruiz, then this play is dead on arrival. And because of Prentice, it's a solid gain of like 6 or 7 yards. All right, we just saw Taysom Hill lined up at quarterback. Here he is lined up at fullback. He's going to make a pretty nice block, a pretty important block here on this run by Alvin Kamara. So we'll see here as this ball is snapped. What is trying to be set up here? You're going to have Shaheed take this corner. You have Cesar Ruiz. He needs to take care of this linebacker. Taysom Hill needs to take care of this linebacker, and then everybody crashes down. Alvin Kamara is going to get to a point on the inside where he has 2 lanes he can go through, either this way or this way. So Taysom Hill right here, this block on this linebacker is key, because if he can get past Hill, he can slip inside right where they're trying to go, bring down the ball carrier, and again, kill this play on arrival, much like the last one. Hill does a great job. He knows straight up he's not going to be able to block Shaq Thompson one-on-one, because listen, Hill's a smart blocker. He's not the strongest guy in the world. He was a quarterback for a reason. He's a converted quarterback, so he's not going to be as strong as a lot of other fullbacks, a lot of other tight ends. And on top of that, his technique just isn't as refined as a lot of other guys, which is totally okay. Taysom Hill recognizes that, and he knows how to make up for it. So what he does here instead is he throws his shoulder into Shaq Thompson in a way that sends him outward. By sending him outward, that gives Kamara the space to run, and he ends up resetting his feet here, does a nice job. He hits him outward. Shaq Thompson ends up bouncing downward. Hill mirrors that pretty well. You see they're on even playing field here. So now all he has to do is stay in front of Thompson. And like I said, this play was set up so Kamara could either take the route here or the route here. He ends up going this direction. So Hill's block is a little less important than it could have been, but it's still pretty important. Like, this play is getting blown up in the backfield if Hill wasn't able to take care of Shaq Thompson. And listen, again, is Hill the best fullback in the world? Is he perfect? Is he the next Kyle Juszczyk? No, he's definitely a converted quarterback that's playing fullback, but he's a hell of a lot better than you would have expected, than I would have expected. So credit where credit's due. This is a nice block. This is a good block on a play that, he needed to do his work. Just to replay it one more time, pay more attention to him. He does good work here. He keeps up with Thompson the whole play. Just good effort, good block, ends up hugging Thompson there at the end to be like, hey man, no hard feelings. But you love to see it. The Mormon Missile out there really embracing his role as fullback 2 in New Orleans. All right, nothing fancy happening here. Just some good old-fashioned 21 personnel. Adam Prentice in at fullback. We're going to get a perfectly executed lead block, one of the prettiest things in the entirety of this sport. So you'll see this is the lane we want to go through, right? This is what's opening up, which means we've got a one-on-one with Adam Prentice and Shaq Thompson. Prentice is going to need to get low. He does exactly that. You see Thompson starts to brace himself here, so Prentice is going to go on the offensive, puts his arms down, puts his shoulder down, runs into him, and starts to drive him out of the play, opening up some space for Kamara. Now, Kamara does get hit from the backside, but that wasn't Prentice's job. Prentice's job was to take care of Shaq Thompson and drive him out of the play, and that is exactly what he does. Plays through the whistle. Just really good stuff there. Nothing too fancy, but beautiful, beautiful football. Listen, if you're watching a series called Fullback Fridays, this is the type of play you're looking for. Just a well-executed lead block out of I formation. Beautiful, beautiful stuff by number 46. All right, if you came into this video looking for some exciting stuff, I know the Saints have been a very exciting offense, then this is the play for you. You've got Adam Prentice not lined up as a traditional fullback, but lined up as an H-back. You don't know what an H-back is, it's essentially a tight end lined up off the line of scrimmage. If he was a normal tight end, he would be in line with Penning here, but because he is set back, he is considered something a little bit different. An H-back is sort of the middle ground between fullback and tight end. The more you know. So they're going to bring Prentice here in motion. He's going to be the lead blocker for Jamal Williams. You're going to see right away he sees that this matchup over here is struggling. I can't make out who the Saint is, but he gets his hands in there, ends up helping out. And then he sees right here, number 25 has nobody on him, and he is impeding his running back's, ability to get upfield. So he says, all right, I'm going to take care of that real quick. Gets low, gets his hands in there, keeps him out of the play, keeps his running back clean, and Jamal Williams is able to dance his way into the end zone. Prentice gets up there. He's pumped. He knows he did well. He contributes on 2 key blocks here to set up Jamal Williams to get in the end zone. Nothing flashy on Prentice's part. He doesn't lay anybody out. No big pancake blocks. But I love the awareness here. I love the heads-up ability to help out the teammate and then to immediately see that there's someone else unblocked. Just awesome. Awesome stuff there, setting up a touchdown. You gotta love to see it. All right, so I know what some of you are probably thinking, right? So what? They had a couple nice blocks against the Panthers. My grandma could block a linebacker against the Panthers. You know what? Your grandma probably could block a linebacker against the Panthers. I'm not gonna lie to you. Maybe beating up on the NFL's redheaded stepchild isn't exactly the best way to show off 2 players playing good football. So I waited a week. Right, I wanted to see what they do against Dallas, and I would argue they had an even better game against Dallas, who I know isn't exactly the powerhouse of the NFL or anything. They're still a far more respectable opponent than the Carolina Panthers. So we'll go ahead. We got Adam Prentice lined up as the fullback. He's going to be the lead blocker on this play. The key is Damone Clark, number 18. You see the offensive line is blocking to our right. So that would mean that the run is likely going to the right, unless this is some sort of counter. It's not, spoiler alert. So Damone Clark sees that and wants to attack this gap right here, which means that Prentice is going to have to take on a guy one-on-one in the hole. That's a fullback's favorite thing to do. So you get Clark putting his shoulder down a little bit, but it doesn't matter. Prentice is already lower. He has more speed buildup because he knew where he was going. Clark had to hesitate a little bit, which means that you have more momentum, you have more speed buildup. So he's going to hit Clark, stand up, and start pushing, which is going to open up Kamara and make it so he can cut upfield. Really good footwork, really good job following his blocker and pressing the line here. And you see Prentice just kind of gets him and starts pushing. Penning and Prentice at the same time here. No, that's a touchdown. Alvin Kamara did his thing. He had a huge game. Just beautiful work here by Prentice as the lead blocker setting up this touchdown. That right there is why you have a fullback. Point blank, period. That is why you employ a fullback in today's NFL, and more teams need to do it. All right, let's kick it back to Taysom Hill. We've got him lined up as the fullback in 21 personnel here for Alvin Kamara. We're going to see a bit of a toss play, and Taysom has got to take care of 28 here. Penning's got to get up to number 50. If that happens, then Kamara's got a whole lot of green in front of him, right? So Taysom's going to do a great job of getting low. You know, he builds up his momentum, makes low contact with number 28 here. 50 does a great job, though, of slipping Trevor Penning and filling this gap, which means that Kamara is going to have to take this gap, which 99 is just chilling in here. So, unfortunately, even though Taysom did his job perfectly, this run is not going to be as long as it could have. It's longer than it should have been looking at it right here. Like, you look at this, hold on. Let me fast forward a little bit. You look at this right here. This run shouldn't have gone as far as it ends up going, but Kamara, you know, again, had a great day, very crafty, does a great job of picking up some extra yards there, fighting pretty hard, and making something out of nothing. But Taysom Hill, you know, good lead block there. Again, I could sit here and critique some of the hand placement or whatever, but dude, at the end of the day, this is a quarterback playing fullback, and he is moving dudes. That's all I give a shit about, you know? In this situation, that is all I care about. And he moves this dude. He takes him out of the play, gets him away from Alvin Kamara completely. He has no chance in hell. You know, does a great job. 28, clearly what he's trying to do is he's trying to lower the shoulder and run into Hill here to clog up this gap. And Hill doesn't even let that happen. He absorbs the contact and drives. So good work by Taysom, man. I'm really, really impressed with what I've seen out of him playing fullback. Not that I didn't think he could do it. I just didn't think they would trust him as much as they do, but they clearly do. And he's giving them plenty of reasons to have that trust in him. All right, I'm going to go ahead and start what I want to start doing for each of these videos. And that's handing out block of the week. And for this video, looking specifically at Taysom Hill and Adam Prentice, this is easily block of the week for these two. Because holy shit, I love what Adam Prentice does here. I love the ability to read and react and save a play, for lack of better words. So we've got Prentice here lined up as the fullback in 21 personnel. And the key here is to watch at the start of the play, Talise Fuanga and DeMarcus Lawrence. Now listen, I'm going to say some things that might sound a little mean towards Fuanga. I want to make it known. I love him. I think he's an incredible football player. I think he's done great through 2 weeks. Sometimes you get got. It happens. And that is what happens here. I feel bad, but he got And listen, it's by DeMarcus Lawrence. He's one of the best run defending defensive linemen in the league. His second game in the league, only one play like this, you're feeling pretty good about it, right? So no shade to Talise. He's an incredible football player. What happens here is Fuanga gets out of his stance wide. DeMarcus Lawrence wants to go inside. So DeMarcus Lawrence takes full advantage of the momentum of Fuanga going in this direction and just sends him on his way. Quick hands, just totally tosses him away. And Prentice, who is going into this play anticipating that he's going to have to take care of number 35 here, he's suddenly, oh shit, I'm one-on-one with one of the best run-defending defensive linemen in the sport. Okay, that's fine. I'm going to put my hands into him and drive him out of the play. Maybe not drive him out of the play. Maybe that's being a little optimistic, but he stops him in his tracks and puts his back to Kamara. This allows Kamara to reset his feet and bounce this inside where there is some decent space. And he tries to make something out of what should be nothing. And you see as the play goes on, you get another lane that develops here, and Kamara's got some room to run. Now someone does come on the other side and drops him, but all things considered, this should have been dead in the backfield. You know, your tackle gets beat this bad on a play. Again, no hate to Fuanga, but your tackle gets beat this bad on a play, you're fully expecting DeMarcus Lawrence to eat Kamara alive and then do some big boy celebration in the backfield. Instead, Adam Prentice saves the day and stops what would have been a tackle for a loss, and it ends up resulting in a net positive gain. This is awesome. You know, like I said on one of the recent plays, this is the kind of stuff, or kind of one of the reasons why you employ a fullback. This is one of the reasons why you have a lead blocker on run plays. It gives you that cushioning. If you have a good fullback, they're going to make something out of nothing pretty consistently. They're going to do stuff like this. This is high-level fullbacking. You know, the guys like Juszczyk and Ricard and Blassengame and Ham and Jakob Johnson, this is the kind of stuff they're able to do. The adaptability, the awareness, the quick reaction time, that's the kind of stuff you want in a fullback. And that perfectly executed by Adam Prentice here. I've been incredibly impressed with him through 2 weeks. And like I said, this is the Miller Football Week 2 block of the week. Maybe not league-wide. I didn't admittedly watch as much fullback film this week as I usually do because I've been very busy. But for the purposes of this video, for all the blocks you're going to see in this video, this is the certified first official block of the week, brought to you by myself and also Adam Prentice, just completely babying DeMarcus Lawrence. Just one more time. I love it. I love that stuff, man. All right, this is our last Taysom Hill block here. Got him lined up as the fullback. We're going to run this ball to the outside, and Hill is going to be challenged with being the lead blocker. He's got to take out Trayvon Diggs here. A little bit of an easier assignment than DeMarcus Lawrence in run blocking. So he gets low, just eats this hit. I mean, Diggs plants his feet and lays into Hill, but he eats this hit and is able to allow Jamal Williams here to cut upfield. And thanks to a really nice block from the tight end, he's going to have a nice lane here. So, you know, not the flashiest block, not the flashiest run, but I got to be honest with you, I just didn't have as many Taysom Hill blocks as I did Adam Prentice. So I wanted to throw this in here. Don't get me wrong, Hill's doing work. It's just a lot of his blocks are lined up at tight end. And, you know, if I come out here and I show you a lot of tight end blocks, people are going to be like, this isn't a fullback video, this is a tight end video. So bear with me, but I mean, this is still good work. Is it the best block of the day? No, but it's not the most physically demanding. It's not the most important, but hey, you know, if he gets slipped by Trayvon Diggs here, then that's a tackle in the backfield. You know, that's a negative play instead of being a positive. So he did his job on this play. And at the end of the day, that's what fullbacks are there to do. They're not there to make big flashy plays. They're not there to single-handedly win you games. They're there to do their goddamn job. And if anyone on this team knows how to do their goddamn job well, it is Taysom Hill. And he's got a lot of jobs to do and a lot of jobs that he does well. And I would say on top of quarterback, tailback, tight end, special teamer, wide receiver, he can add fullback to that resume for sure. What's better than Adam Prentice setting up one Alvin Kamara touchdown? How about Adam Prentice setting up two Alvin Kamara touchdowns? So we've got Prentice here lined up as the fullback. Little 22 personnel this time around. Two tight ends, including our boy Taysom Hill, who does his job on the other side of the line here. Shout out to blocking away from the play. Not the flashiest thing, not the sexiest thing, but hey, it still makes the play work. Back to the actual play, though. We've got Prentice here. He's got to take care of 28. If he can take care of 28, Lucas Patrick is doing a good job of getting upfield to the second level to take care of this linebacker. We've got Micah Parsons in prison here one-on-one. So if we can get our boy Prentice here to take care of this linebacker, or I think he's a linebacker. I don't know who the hell 28 is. I'm going to be honest with you. If we can get him to take care of this player, this whole new number rule thing where everyone's allowed to wear whatever number they want, it kind of fucks with my head still. I'm not going to lie. That's the old head in me. So this might be a linebacker. This might be a safety. It might be a corner. It might be the goddamn punter. I don't know anymore. The point is, if he can take care of this feller right here, then Alvin Kamara, in theory, should have a touchdown. Now, what ends up happening is this linebacker does a great job of getting into Lucas Patrick. So this lane is suddenly a lot more crowded than you would think. There's a lot more going on here. However, because Prentice does a great job with his block, replay it, gets low, gets the hands in there, stands his guy straight up, and tries to drive him out of the play. That's going to allow Kamara to slip his way through. Nice balance, break a leg tackle or ankle tackle there, and he's going to find his way into the end zone. Prentice is there to help him celebrate. What I like about this play is 28. He does the same thing he tried to do earlier in the game, which is get low. He wants to hit Prentice here and knock him back, and that would create a lot of congestion, and someone else would be able to make a play in here. Prentice says, no, I'm not letting that happen, and he sets up this touchdown. Really nice block. Sure, it wasn't Prentice single-handedly. Really, this play was all Alvin Kamara, because the footwork and the balance there are incredible, and the vision obviously stands out as well, but I don't care. I'm giving Prentice some goddamn credit. Okay? He did good. He did his thing, and he contributed, and that's what I care about. So yeah, Adam Prentice set up a touchdown, but Alvin Kamara is also God, apparently, and, you know, had his huge game against Dallas, and this was one of his more impressive runs, pretty handedly. God, football's better when Alvin Kamara is making big plays, man. I'm happy he's doing his thing right now, but shout out to Adam Prentice here, who, I love his little celebrations. He just gets so excited whenever Alvin Kamara does something, and that's what I want to see from my fullback. All right, we've seen some important blocks today. We've seen some flashy blocks, but we're going to end this one with something simple yet beautiful. Just a good old-fashioned example of the fullback squaring up a linebacker in the hole. You got Prentice here lined up as your fullback, as per usual. You got 3.5 minutes left in the game. We got the backups in. Jake Hayner's going to hand this football off. And this is just beautiful stuff here. You bring a man in motion. You've got Prentice versus great value Sean Lee up here. He's going to do a great job. Gets low, puts that inside shoulder to this shoulder of the linebacker, which means that he is, you know, by force and whatnot, science terms, I'm not good at science, he's going to push him in this direction because that's how it works. And then the running back is able to slip up behind him. So he does exactly that. Opens up that little bit of space. Able to pick up some yards. Just some beautiful stuff here. This is one of those ones I can't add a lot to it. It's just, yeah, man, you did exactly what you had to do. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. Just one more time for the road. Bring the man in motion. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. I love what the Saints are doing right now, just across the board. But, you know, everyone's talking about Derek Carr and Clint Kubiak and, you know, some of the other stars on the offense, and rightfully so. I'm not saying they don't deserve their praises. They absolutely do. But me being me, I figured it was only fitting to talk about the guys that nobody's looking at. And sure, maybe they are not the keys to unlocking this offense or anything like that, but they're doing their job and they're doing it well. And this offense wouldn't work the way it's working without them. Those 3, 5, 6-yard runs they're blocking for, those add up. Those matter. Those alter the course of the game. Those drain the clock. You know, I don't think I have to explain this to you guys, but, you know, gotta love what the fullbacks are doing. Gotta love what the Saints are doing. I hope you guys enjoyed the first installment of Fullback Friday. We're going to try to do this every week. Obviously, I missed the first week due to some weird scheduling stuff, but going forward, I don't think that will happen again. Next week, who knows? We could be talking about top 10 blocks of the week. We could be just looking at some different blocks and appreciating fullback greatness. We could dial in on one fullback again. Whatever it is, I am looking forward to seeing you all back next Friday for your weekly dose of fullback content.
Had a chance on the throwback. This was an ill-advised throw. What an unbelievable catch by Cole Kmet. And he cups it too. No movement when he hits the ground, tucked up against his shoulder. Wow. Using that